Armani Code Absolu Gold. This is a new release from Armani and we're going to be reviewing this one today. Is it good? Is it better than the Absolute original or is it better than Profumo? Does this one stand any chance against those two all-stars? In this video, we're going to find out all of that and at the end, if it's worth it to pick up or not. Yo, what's up guys, Tim here, welcome back to another video. I'm so happy to be reviewing Armani Code Absolute Gold. This one is a really nice fragrance. In terms of just my personal experience with it, just off the top of my head, I like it. I like it a lot. I wore this one a good 5 times now and I've always enjoyed every time I wear it. Now, with that being said though, I do enjoy when I wear Profumo and the original Absolute as well. Those two do give me same level of joy as this one. But this one especially surprised me because it's so similar to the original Absolute that I kind of thought in my head that I might not enjoy it as much or I might think it's redundant. Personally speaking, I love owning both of them so that I can switch around. They definitely have a lot of similarities though, so if you're on a budget, it's an either or, but if you have all the money in the world, owning both of them to me is a joy. I do enjoy owning both of them, but let's dial this back a little bit and talk about the scent of this one first. The opening of this one, off the top, I have a spray right here. In the opening, you're gonna get a really nice dose of tonka bean and benzoin. Already, the base note shows itself right in the beginning. This sweet, vanillic, kind of ambery benzoin. If you guys don't know benzoin, it's just a kind of ambery-ish vanilla kind of vibe. It has that in spades in this fragrance, and that's what really lends the smoothness of this fragrance. It's so smooth. It's such a smooth out sweetness in comparison to Absolute and Profumo, which is a little bit more cloudy, a little bit more harsh and synthetic-y. This one is just round out, reserved, and it's all because of that benzoin and that really deep, rich, vanilla-ish kind of vibe. Now, on top of all those notes, you're gonna get a little bit of the citrus, the mandarin, very faded though. Don't even pay attention to that because that's gone in the first 2 minutes. Mandarin in here doesn't really matter. There's a little bit of a sweet apple in here as well, but again, it's only here really in the opening. It does last in a little bit into the mid, but eventually it does go away. But in the opening, you do get that sweet apple in here alongside the tonka bean and the benzoin, which is to me a really nice composition already. But in the underlining between those two notes, the saffron and the iris, just slightly hints of it is noticeable here in the opening. It doesn't really play too much of a role yet, but they will shine. After the citrus dies down, after the apple dies down, they will shine, and this leads us right into the mid. Now in the mid, like I said, the mandarin already gone. The apple tones down quite a bit. The tonka bean and benzoin type of vibe still very, very strong. That is the backbone of this fragrance, and those two notes will last all the way to the dry down. They last all the way towards the end of the fragrance basically, because they are the true kind of backbone, the true highlight of this fragrance is the tonka bean and the benzoin. Now into the mid, off my skin, I will say this, off my skin only right now, the saffron is so strong. Now I have asked a few of my friends who have tried this fragrance and they say that the saffron doesn't really jump off too much off of their skin, but on my skin and in the air, I noticed the saffron very, very, very heavy. Now it's not a pungent type of saffron, it's a very smooth, kind of slightly warm, slightly spicy saffron that blends in well with all the other notes. I really, really, really enjoy the saffron note in this one. Now the iris kind of gives it a little bit of like a dark backup in a way to the saffron. It's not like a lipsticky iris, you don't really notice it. It's more of a supporting note in a way, it's not a prominent note, so you only notice kind of the darker aspect of it, a darker supporting aspect of the iris. Other than that, it might as well be non-existent. It is kind of non-existent towards the dry down. But in the mid, this is probably my favorite part of the fragrance because it does have the warmthness, the slight spiciness from the saffron. That mixes in really well with the rest of the smooth tone of this fragrance, the tonka bean benzoin. Very nice composition. This is where I find the scent to be the sexiest and at its pinnacle of the scent. It just smells fantastic right here. Now onto your dry down, it smells mostly the same. The only thing that you're gonna notice is that the saffron kind of tones down a little bit. It becomes a little less warm as the fragrance goes down to a dry down, and the sweetness kind of just comes up. And what you're gonna notice in the back as well is a slight woodiness from the cedarwood. Very, very slightly though. It's really kind of buried under the tonka bean and the benzoin. These two notes are very, very dominating in this fragrance, and not a lot of the other notes are able to pop through due to how strong this one is, except for the saffron and the sweet apple. All the other notes are just super supportive notes. So the dry down again smells mostly the same as the mid, just a little weaker. The saffron's weaker, a little bit more of the woody base, but to an untrained nose, the mid and the dry down will smell almost absolutely the same. Now my overall thoughts, what do I think of the scent of this one? I think it smells really sexy. It's sexy, smooth vanilla, really reserved. It's one that I really enjoy wearing. Probably one of the most enjoyable fragrances I've worn in recent times. I just extremely enjoy this one. The nice warm spiciness from the saffron really makes this one a little bit more sexy than the original Absolute in my personal opinion. The original Absolute is really nice, but this one is just a tad bit sexier than the original Absolute. Is it sexier than Profumo? No, Profumo definitely has a more mass appealing, sexy vibe. This one, more reserved, more professional. In terms of comparing it to those other two, Profumo and Absolute, this one is the most reserved, the most professional, the most, I would say, adult version than the other two. Profumo being the more juvenile, the youngest version. Absolute being like maybe from 25 to 45 kind of age range. This one is more like from 35 to older kind of age range. If I were to give it an age, that's how I would look at it. Profumo being 25 and younger, and so on and so forth. So this one definitely has a lot more reserved vibe, but at the end of the day, I really do enjoy all three. Profumo is still my number one. Number two is really a tie now. Absolute and Absolute Gold are really neck and neck at this point to being my number two. I really still cannot decide, but I'm really, it's just so hard. I can't even speak about that right now, even in this video, because it's so hard to decide. It's still on par to me, Absolute and Absolute Gold. They're both fantastic in their own way for me. Really can't decide, but yeah, all three are really good. Next, we have the performance, and you really don't have to worry about the performance of this one. The projection on this is really nice. It's not extremely beastly, but it's big enough around your shoulder length. It's big enough to really satisfy you throughout the day, and this thing projects for a very long time. I've noticed the saffron sweetness around me for up to 4 hours into the fragrance, which is madness for a fragrance to project that much, but it does project for a very long time, but it does have a limiting kind of scent bubble, which is really nice. It's not too loud and it's not too close as well. It has a really nice bubble, which I really appreciate. Longevity of this one, 7 hours is the lowest that I got out of this one, and the highest being 9 to even sometimes 10 hours. So longevity will last you all day, no problem there. Next, we have the versatility. This one is a fall and winter scent and is very versatile for those given season. It's just a really nice, sweet, sexy scent that's very reserved. It's not a try-hard scent. It's one that you can wear in the office. It's one that you can wear on a date. It's one that you can wear casually out anywhere. Very versatile scent. There's no really bad time to wear this one in my personal opinion. You can even wear this one to a formal situation as well. It's that versatile because it has a reserved, non-try-hard, very just nice, smooth, sophisticated vibe. So wear this one pretty much anytime. Next, we have the compliment getting potential. Now this one, in comparison to the other two, definitely has a lower compliment getting potential because it's not as sweet as the other one. It's not as jumpy, it's not as cloudy as the other two. Profumo being the most mass appealing one of the bunch because the sweetness there is just so loud, it's just so grabbing, so attention seeking. It's the most mass appealing one because the sweetness is just there for it, and it has a really nice, youthful, playful vibe. Absolute is a step down from that because it takes the sweetness and tone down, make it a little bit more sophisticated, smooth, easy to wear. So it doesn't have that kind of jumpy, extroverted feeling that the Profumo has. That gives Profumo that much more of a mass appealing, compliment getting vibe. This one is similar to Absolute in terms of it being another step down. So this is the least mass appealing of the bunch, and this one will get you the least amount of compliments out of the three, but still at least it is a C tier compliment getter. It's still really nice. You will get some compliments, not a lot of compliments, but you definitely still get some, and it's better than most fragrances that you can find out there, mass appeal wise. Next, we're gonna talk about if this thing is worth picking up or not. The price of this one is $92 for a 60 ml retail, and you can only find this retail on the Armani website exclusively. I've tried to look for this anywhere else, cannot find it anywhere else. You can only buy it retail, $92 on the Armani website, and to me, is it expensive? Yes, but is it expensive in comparison to Absolute? Not so much, because Absolute is $85 for 60 ml as well on Fragrance X, I believe, and it really doesn't go cheaper than that right now anyway. So the price difference is $7 for either Absolute or Absolute Gold. So pick either or. For me, the most I would spend for these fragrances would be $70 to $75 for 60 ml in a perfect world, but you'll never really find it that low. The only time you might find Absolute that low is if it has another year or so to kind of bring the price down. But right now, these two are pretty much hot items. They're new, they're gonna be expensive. This one especially because it is rumored to be a limited edition. So we don't really know if this one is gonna be around for purchase any longer, but it's still right now on the release of this video on their Armani website. So you can pick it up for $92 for 60 ml. For me though, perfectly honest, it is expensive and it's really kind of on the edge of being like worth it and not worth it for that kind of price. So for me, I would suggest only buying this one if you have a lot of money to spare, or if you really want to have it, try a sample of it first because it is on the pricey side. You should definitely try a sample of it for yourself first before you decide to spend this much money on it. But on a third note, if you're one of those people who think that this is a limited edition and it might go away, which again, I don't know if it's gonna go away or not, but it is rumored to go away. So if you wanna collect the whole line and it has that kind of value to you, a scent like this is really nice value accompanying that collector's kind of value. So yeah, $92, I would purchase this, and I'm actually super happy that I spent this. I did spend retail for this, and I have no regret at all. Zero regret whatsoever with this one. It just smells fantastic and I thoroughly enjoy every moment that I wear it. All right guys, that's it for this review of Armani Code Absolute Gold. Really nice addition to the lineup in my personal opinion. Some of you guys might find it redundant, but for me, I really love it and I really, again, love owning both Absolute and Absolute Gold. So with that being said, if you guys have tried this one already, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of it, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye.